Uttar Pradesh is bordered by the state of Uttarakhand and the country of Nepal to the north, the state of Bihar to the east, the states of Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh to the southeast, the state of Madhya Pradesh to the south, and the states of Rajasthan and Haryana, and the national capital territory of Delhi to the west. Geomorphologically, Uttar Pradesh can be divided into three major topographical regions: Shivalik foothills of Himalayas, Terai region border UP on the north, Gangetic plains constitute the major central portion of the state, Vindhya range hills of Himalayas, a relatively smaller part of the southern Uttar Pradesh. The total area of Uttar Pradesh is 2,43,286 square kilometer, and it ranks the fourth among the other states. Much of the area of Uttar Pradesh is covered by a deep layer of alluvium spread by the slow-moving rivers of Ganges system. Those extremely fertile alluvial soils range from sandy to clay loam. The soils in the southern part of the state are generally mixed red and black or red to yellow. As with the Champion and Seth classification of forest type, the forests in Uttar Pradesh belong to 5 forest type groups, which are further divided into 28 forest types. Major part of the state is recorded forest area in the state is 16,582 square kilometer, of which 12,070 square kilometer is reserved forest, 1,157 square kilometer is protected forest, and 3,355 square kilometer is unclassed forest. 1 national park and 26 wildlife sanctuaries constitute the protected area network of the state, covering 11.82% of its geographical area. The state of Uttar Pradesh is enriched by some of the most significant rivers of India like the Ganga, the Gahra, the Yamuna and the Saryu. Apart from these, many more lifeline-like rivers flow through the state of Uttar Pradesh. Some of the tributaries of other like Hindon in the tributary of the Yamuna. The left tributaries include Brahmaputra, Buri Gandak, Kosi, Mahananda, Ramaganga, Gara, Gomati, Gandak and Gahra. The right tributaries include Yamuna, Rupnarayan, Tamsa, Sown, Karamnasa, Punpun, Damodar and Chandan. Though more known for its grasslands and forest and iconic Indian structures such as the Taj Mahal, Uttar Pradesh nonetheless contains 282 named mountains. The highest of these peaks is almost at around 3,093 feet above sea level with 1,119 feet of prominence, and the most prominent is Kochadi Hill with a prominence of 1,184 feet and the height of 1,985 feet. Uttar Pradesh has a humid subtropical climate with dry winters. The annual rainfall ranges between 1000 mm to 1200 mm. About 90% of the rainfall occurs during the southwest monsoon, lasting from about June to September. With most of the rainfall concentrated during that 4-month period, floods are a recurring problem and can cause fatalities and heavy damage to crops and property, particularly in the eastern part of the state. Periodic failure of monsoon results in drought condition, and the annual temperature varies from 5 degrees Celsius to 46 degrees Celsius. The climate of Uttar Pradesh is the tropical monsoon type with warm weather year-round. Average eye temperature in Lucknow range from 70 degree Fahrenheit in January to over 100 degree Fahrenheit in May and June. High temperatures of about 120 degree Fahrenheit have been recorded at Gonda, northwest of Faisalabad. The 1888 Moradabad hail was a severe hailstorm that occurred on 30th April 1888 in Moradabad in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. It had the highest mortality associated with the hailstorm and killed 246 people, 1,600 cattle and sheep with hailstones as large as goose eggs and oranges and cricket balls. The hailstones were reportedly as big as oranges and in some places accumulated to up to 2 feet in height. 2012 Himalayan flash floods are the floods that occurred on the midnight of 3rd August in the Himalayan region of the northern Indian states. Many were dead and missing. Many places were affected. Landslides and flash floods were triggered by the sudden cloudburst which left 31 people dead while 40 are reported to be missing. Uttar Pradesh is a state rich in flora and fauna. It has an amazing variety of some 1000 woody plants, including 3000 trees, 400 shrubs, and 100 woody climbers. More than 200 species of grasses have been identified in the Gangetic Plains, along with a rich supply of herbs and valuable medicinal plants. The variegated topography and climate of Uttar Pradesh is conducive for the upkeep of an enormous variety of animal life. Its avifauna is among the richest in the country. The jungles of Uttar Pradesh has in abundance tigers, leopards, wild boars, jungle cats, jackals, foxes, monitor lizards, and scores of the species of mammal and reptiles. The birds include pigeons, blue jay, peafowl, kingfisher, and even doves. To preserve its wildlife, the state has established one national park, the famed Corbett Park, and 12 game sanctuaries. The Corbett Park, which is a major tourist attraction, covers 324 square kilometers of land. The total population of the state is 19.98 crores. The male population is 10.4 crores. The female population is 9.5 crores. And the transgender population is 1,37,465. And there are 912 females per 1,000 males in the state. Some of the main tribes in the state are Baiga, Agaria, Boksa, Kol, and some of them have been recognized as the scheduled tribes by the Government of India. In terms of religions, Hinduism constitutes 79.7%, Islam 19.3%, and Christianity constitutes 0.3% in the state. The overall literacy rate of the Uttar Pradesh is 67.7%, and the female literacy is 59%. Sohar is one of the most popular forms of folk songs performed in Uttar Pradesh even today. These songs are related to the religious culture prevalent in the areas. Sohar is predominantly performed during childbirth. Bikadi Thakur is usually credited with the popularization of folk songs in the Bhojpuri region. Chanaini. Chanaini is a type of folk dance music that is very much prevalent in most regions of Uttar Pradesh. This is a well-known form of folk music practiced in many rural areas with utmost diligence. This type of folk music usually is performed to celebrate any occasion or special moment. Karwa. Karwa is a well-known tal or system of singing style in the Indian that originated in Uttar Pradesh. The Karwa tal is a famous tal with variations such as Kawali and Dumali and is divided into two within 8 beats. One of the most spectacular folk dance of Uttar Pradesh, which is widely popular in the Braj region of western Uttar Pradesh. It's a tough act of balance where a veiled woman dancer performs with the 108 oil lamps on her head placed on a wooden pyramid platform. The songs are primarily written to praise and revere Lord Krishna was born in this region. The dance is usually performed on the third day of the famous Hindu festival of Holi. It is said that Radha was born on this day, and since then the Charkala dance is performed in Braj. Due to the placement of lighted earthen oil lamps, the movement in this dance forms are swift and graceful. Ras Leela. Many of us will be familiar with Ras Leela, which has been introduced to us through mythological stories in Bhagavad Gita. The Ras Leela was the act where Lord Krishna danced and sang with the gopis on the banks of the river Krishna in the Vrindavan region. This art form is particularly famous in western Uttar Pradesh and portrays the life tales of Krishna ranging from his childhood till his adolescence. Nautanki is a form of street play or skit that is popular in northern side of India, especially in the states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. It is said that before the entry of cinema in life of common man in India, it was the only mean prevalent for entertainment. A Nautanki is considered a folklore and mythological dramas blended with folk songs and dances, but now it has taken other forms too. Buddha Purnima. Lord Gautam Buddha is one of the most famous and important religious personalities of India, who is also the founder of the religion, well known as Buddhism. Many pilgrims destinations of Uttar Pradesh is closely associated with the life of Lord Gautam Buddha, and at present, these are some of the most popular pilgrimage destinations for the followers of Buddhism and even other religions. Ganga Dashera. According to Hindu mythology, many rivers have a great significance in religious scriptures. Some of them even appear as characters of the mythological stories, and their presence blesses the storyline every time. As per the Hindu mythological scriptures, the river of Ganga has a pivotal role to play in the Shiva Purana and a lot more of the stories. Makar Sankranti is another important festival dedicated and celebrated mostly by the followers of Hinduism, one of the popular festivals celebrated in Uttar Pradesh. According to their tradition, the auspicious occasion of Makar Sankranti marks the day of the winter solstice. It usually passes the calendar during the second or third week of the month of January. But the festival is celebrated quite differently in Uttar Pradesh. Here, Makar Sankranti is celebrated during the end of December or at the starting of January in a magnificent manner. Janmashtami. Janmashtami is undoubtedly one of the biggest religious occasions for the followers of Hinduism and one of the important festivals celebrated in Uttar Pradesh. The day, according to the Hindu calendar, marks the day of the Lord Sri Krishna's birth, who is the ninth incarnation of Lord Vishnu and also one of the most worshipped gods in the religion. Batti Chokha. The dish is most liked one in the area of eastern Uttar Pradesh. It is an authentic dish comprising of wheat, batti, which is round, and chokha, which is made of mashed potatoes, brinjal and tomatoes. It is paired with the desi ghee, green chutney and chaat masala. The battis are baked in mud ovens, which give it a unique aroma and taste. Bedai. It's a famous dish in the areas of Agra, Firozabad and Mathura. The crispy deep fried wheat chapatis with a spicy curry based potato sabzi. It is a favorite lip-smacking breakfast choice for many people living in these towns. Your trip to Agra will not be complete without visiting Taj Mahal and tasting Bedai. Peda. The city of Mathura and Vrindavan is just not known for its Radha and Krishna temples, but also for the sweet delicacy. They are made of mawa with cardamom or saffron. They are decorated with the chandwak or dry fruits. Peta. It is another famous delicacy of Agra. It is made of pumpkin. The white pumpkin is soaked in water for 2 or 3 days and then cooked in flavored sugar syrup. A wide range of flavors are available for this delicacy like chocolate, kesar, pan, etc. Sports in Uttar Pradesh category includes field hockey, which is India's national sport, archery, boxing, football, kabaddi, kho-kho, swimming, throwball, wrestling and weightlifting. There are local and district championships for these games, which are played according to the traditional rules governing the location. The people living along the foothills of the mountain ranges, as well as the local people, indulge in many sports activities as part of the community building, as well as building good physique to meet the vagaries of the harsh winter climate of the state. The vastness of the state is endowed generously with the copious flow of water from many major rivers. India's pride, the sacred Ganga, Yamuna, Alaknanda, Bhagirathi, Bilaganga, Sarayu, Mandakini, Ramganga, Gomati, Chambal, etc. Besides many smaller ones and their tributaries that encourage several recreational and adventure sports activities. The state's rolling mountain landscapes offers several sites for adventure sports. Dashavatara Temple. The Dashavatara Temple or the Vishnu Temple is situated in Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh, constructed in 500 AD. It is among the earliest Hindu stone temples still surviving today. It was built out of brick and stones consisting of a single cubical sanctum that sheltered the image within. It was built in the Gupta period and it shows intricate ornate and beauty of Gupta styles of architecture. It is a good example to study about Gupta style of architecture, sculptures and arts. Fatehpur Sikri. Built by the Mughal Emperor Akbar, the Fatehpur Sikri is surrounded by walls on its three sides and a lake on the fourth. Its architecture was based on the Mughal and Indian styles. It houses many structures including mosques, palaces, tombs, etc. Some of them are Buland Darwaza, Jumma Masjid, Badat Khana, Jamat Khana, tomb of Salim Chishti and many more. Agra Fort. The Agra Fort, also known as Red Fort since it is built of red sandstones, is located on the banks of river Yamuna in Agra. Within the fort, there are Mughal architecture marvels including Moti Masjid, Pearl Mosque, Diwan-e-Am, Diwan-e-Khas and Jahangir Palace. It was initially built by Akbar in 1565 as a military establishment, but his successors made several additions to the main structure of the fort. It is semicircular in shape and is flattened in the east with a long, nearly straight wall facing the river. Allahabad Public Library. The Allahabad Public Library is also known as Tanil Main Memorial. It is located at Alfred Park in Allahabad, built in 1864. It is the largest library in Uttar Pradesh. The design was made by Richard Roswell Bain as an example of Scottish baronial architecture. The library has turrets and sharp pillars of granite and sandstones. It shows polychromy with the arcaded cloisters and lofty towers. The economy of Uttar Pradesh is the third largest of all the states of India. Nominal GDP of the state for the year 2020-23 is 20.48 trillion. Uttar Pradesh has an urban population of 4,44,95,063. Uttar Pradesh is a major contributor to the national food grain stock. In 2013 and 14, the state produced 5 crores tons of food grains, 18.90 of the country's total production. Agriculture is the most important economic sector. Land available for agriculture in Uttar Pradesh was 16.8 million hectare. Area under forest was only 7% of the total land. This was 23% less than the norms set for maintaining a sound ecological balance in the region. Non-agriculture uses constituted only 13% of the land in the state. The best mode of intra-city transportation in bigger cities of Uttar Pradesh is to hire auto rickshaws that are also called autos. They are easily available in bigger cities such as Kanpur, Agra, Mathura, Lucknow, Varanasi and Allahabad. Taxis are also available in these cities. Nevertheless, you ought to be a Jew to bargain with the taxi and auto drivers. They are the chief transport option in smaller towns as well as congested alleys of large towns. The railway network in Uttar Pradesh is the largest in the country and railway density is nearly twice the national average of 20 km per 1000 square kilometer of area. The state is well connected to the other parts of the country by a railway network spanning over 8,800 km. The major sectors and industries serviced by the railway include agriculture, cement, fertilizer, coal and manufacturing. Various parts of the state are catered to by 5 of the 17 railway zones in India. There are 2 international airports in Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow and Varanasi. Bamrauli Airport, Chakeri Airport, Keria Airport, Sarwas Airport are some of the domestic airports in the state. In 1540, an Afghan Sher Shah Suri took over the reins of Uttar Pradesh after defeating the Mughal king Humayun. 1920, the capital province was shifted from Allahabad to Lucknow. 1942, declaration of the commitment of the Free India to defend itself against all kinds of imperialism began in UP. 1950, after India's independence, the United Provinces were reorganized as Uttar Pradesh. 2000, northern districts of the state were separated to form the state of Uttarakhand. 2006, a terrorist attack in Varanasi killed at least 15 people and left more than 50 injured. 2017, Yogi Adityanath became the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. And in 2019, Ayodhya dispute was settled by the Supreme Court of India. The groundbreaking ceremony of the Rama Janmabhoomi temple took place later next year. One of the most important places to visit in Uttar Pradesh and famous across the globe of being at the home of the Taj Mahal. Agra is located on the banks of river Yamuna. Home to 2 more UNESCO World Heritage Sites, Agra Fort and Fatehpur Sikri. Agra is indeed a sneak peek into the architectural history and legacy of the Mughal Empire. The city famous part of the popular Golden Temple circuit for tourists along with Delhi and Jaipur, and also a part of the Uttar Pradesh heritage arc including Varanasi and Lucknow. Agra is a heaven for history fanatics, architecture buffs and foodies all alike. It's famous for its petha and also well known for its marble artifacts. Agra is therefore among the must-visit destination in Uttar Pradesh for anyone living in or visiting India. Fatehpur Sikri, a city made of red sandstones. Fatehpur Sikri was founded in 1571 by Mughal Emperor Akbar. It is located at a distance of 40 km from Agra and is rightly known as the pride of the Mughal Empire. Fatehpur Sikri is essentially a fortified city and had been the capital of the empire for 15 years. A unique blend of Indo-Islamic architectural excellence and religious beliefs adorns Fatehpur Sikri. Varanasi. Varanasi, also known as Kashi and Banaras, and considered to be the world's oldest living city, is one of the most famous tourist places in Uttar Pradesh. Being one of Hindu's 7 holy cities, Varanasi is indeed the spiritual capital of India. While you would find temples at almost every turn in the city, the Kashi Vishwanath temple, which is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas, is the most visited and the oldest of all. Mathura. Being the birthplace of Lord Krishna makes Mathura one of the Hinduism's 7 sacred cities and therefore attracts a horde of pilgrims from all over the world, making it one of the most visited pilgrims and tourist places in Uttar Pradesh. Similar to the Ganga Aarti in Varanasi, the Yamuna Aarti is one of the highlights of Mathura. The size of the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Assembly was decided as 403 members after the Uttar Pradesh Reorganization Act 2000. The current Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is Yogi Adityanath. Yogi Adityanath belongs to the specific tradition of Hindutva politics in Uttar Pradesh that can be traced back to the Mahanta Digvijayanath, who led the placing of idols in the Babri Masjid in Ayodhya on 22nd September 1949. Both Digvijayanath and his successor Avaidhyanath belong to the Hindu Mahasabha and were elected to the parliament on the party's ticket. Adityanath was designated as Avaidhyanath's successor. He was elected to the lower house of the Indian parliament. Yogi Adityanath is the 21st Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. His party name is Bharatiya Janata Party. His party won 254 out of 403 seats. The opposition party is Samajwadi Party. The leader of the opposition and the party leader is Akhilesh Yadav from Samajwadi Party. The next election will be in 2026. Some of the famous leaders of the state are Bakht Khan, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Mangal Pandey, Malvi Liaquat Ali, Rani Lakshmibai, Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri and VP Singh. Some of the famous personalities from other domains are Pandit Ravi Shankar, Hindustani classical musician, Dhyan Chand, former Indian hockey team captain, Amitabh Bachchan, popular Indian actor, Nawazuddin Siddique, popular Indian actor, Anurag Kashyap, film director, Yogendra Singh Yadav, former soldier and the youngest Paramveer Chakra award recipient. Four-laning with the paved shoulder from Delhi Shahanpur Yamunotri Road up to Uttarakhand border on DBA40 basis. Development of modern silos for storage of wheat on DBA40 basis under PPP mode Damora, Uttar Pradesh. Upgradation of Jaipur to Bhilwara State Highway. Establishing 5 new senior secondary schools in Chittagong district. Development operation and maintenance of Chomachandwaj and setting up of medical college and hospitals in Bolangir. And that's it for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed and learnt a lot from it. I will see you with another incredible state of India in the next. And don't forget to subscribe our channel and share it with your friends.